What's up, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Revive Outdoors. I'm so grateful that you tuned into the channel. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Hopefully, by the end of this, you'll have a step-by-step guide of how to keep your feet warm and you'll never deal with issues again. So I have dealt with feet issues with my feet getting cold while hunting forever. If I'm still hunting, if I am not moving, my feet start getting cold really quick. I've tried everything out there under the sun and still have had issues with my feet getting cold until this past season. So I'm excited to share with you what I have learned, and hopefully you can use it while you're hunting this year and keep your feet warm. I have two sets of boot muffs behind me. I have one by Hunter Safety Systems, and then I have another by Arctic Shield. There was a company that came on the market there for a while that had boot muffs very similar to Arctic Shield, but they heated. Tried those out, tried these Arctic Shields out. Nothing has worked for me in that regard except for these Hunter Safety System boot muffs. It's not just a magic, hey, throw on the boot muff and your feet don't get warm. So I'm going to go into all the details of what I do to keep my feet warm, not just, throwing these on once I get to the stand and calling it good. There is a process to that. But first, what I wanted to do is pause and share a brief message about what Revive Outdoors is and the impact that we have here in conservation. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Revive Outdoors. If you're not familiar with us, we're a nonprofit based here in Alabama, and our mission is to make a positive and eternal impact through conservation. The way that we do that is we take brand new adult hunters on one-on-one mentored hunts. To date, since late 2020, when we started Revive Outdoors, we've taken 303 brand new adult hunters on one-on-one mentored hunts. Out of those hunts, we've seen 37 people come to know the Lord through salvation in Jesus Christ. And then we've also seen 97 people be referred to mental health services to take their next step towards getting help in the mental spectrum, not just the spiritual one. And we've also raised about $6,000 this past year to go to families in needs in our local community. So we're making a huge impact, and we're thankful for people like you watching today's episode and helping with that. For the companies that you see on these episodes, they play some part financially and gear in different ways to provide for us as a nonprofit as well. So be sure to use our codes. They track those to see that you're going and buying their products from our videos, so we're super grateful for them. And then our three legacy sponsors are Spartan Forge, Buzzard Roost Saddles, and Native Sense. If you're not familiar with them, Spartan Forge is an AI-based technology. We actually use their technology in their app, so they have typical maps that you see in your other platforms, but then they also have this AI deer movement prediction that has helped us harvest a lot of our deer from this past season. We use that day in and day out as we're running these ministry hunts. In addition to that, we also have Native Sense on board. They are a deer urine-based company. I use them for a lot of my mock scrapes. They both have real deer urine and synthetic, depending on what your state allows. And then Buzzard Roost Saddles, their saying is, "We ain't fancy." They're born out of the swamps of Louisiana, and they are some good guys that are making a really good quality saddle. So we're grateful for those three legacy sponsors. We thank you again for watching, and we'll get back to this episode. What I want to do now is I want to talk about all the things that I have done that do not work. I'm not saying they will not work for you. I'm not saying they haven't worked for other people. They have just not worked for me. And if you're somebody who you've tried some of these things or maybe all of these things, you still deal with cold feet and you're at a point of frustration, you don't know how to keep your feet warm, this is going to be a great episode for you. But I want to share all the things that don't work or have not worked for me first, so you can kind of understand where I've came from and then where I'm at today. So things that I have not got to work are heated socks. Heated socks have made my feet sweat, and then the battery dies, or it just stops working, or I just build up so much sweat my feet get cold, and it just doesn't work for me. Not saying that they don't work, but for me, standing still on keeping that pressure on my feet, on the bottom soles of my feet, it just has not worked. One thing that also has not worked is heated insoles. So heated insoles have, it's on the bottom of your feet. So you're thinking, hey, I feel like I get cold on the bottom of my feet first. Then you get the heated insoles, and it doesn't work either. The reason I think too for that is same thing, is that you build up sweat, it gets wet, and it gets cold. It just did not work for me. I've tried these Arctic Shields. I've tried them by themselves. I've tried the Arctic Shields with hand warmers in them. or with foot warmers in them, body warmers in them, all the things. Haven't got it to work, and these are a pain in the rear to get on and off. Unlike the Hunter safety systems, your boot gets all hung up in them trying to get them on and off, and just overall led to a lot of frustration. And then they don't pack down quite as tight as these do. I mean, you can see the difference. These pack down really nice and flat, and you can even, you can roll them up, or you can, fold them in half. But these have a little bit better just entry into the boot. You can see it's got a wider boot muff, but I'll dive into the details of that in just a second when I go through my whole process. I've tried baby powder. And baby powder, I have tried putting on my feet, then put my socks on, or putting it in my socks so it'll wick moisture away, absorb that moisture. What happens is that baby powder takes the sock material and it kind of hardens it, and it doesn't allow it to wick away at the proper way that it's designed to do in that sock. I have also tried putting deodorant on my feet to get them like, hey, maybe that'll cut down. Deodorant's not necessarily designed that way. It's called an antiperspirant, but it's really made to negate the body odor smell that's coming out of you. It's not really made to prevent sweat necessarily, but hey, I saw somebody say to try it. I tried it. I have tried a million different socks. I've tried the alpaca wool socks. Those, over time, my feet would sweat. They would get hardened. The material wouldn't work anymore. I've tried full 100% thick merino wool socks. That did not work. I have tried hunting in Crocs, so it gets more breathable. I've tried hunting in rubber boots. I've tried hunting in thick insulated boots. I've even bought these big giant snow boots that weigh 1,000,000 pounds that somebody said that they would work. Didn't work. So that's all the things that I can think of just right off the top of my head that didn't work. Maybe you've tried some, maybe you tried none. Maybe this is the first time you've even tried anything, is clicking on this video and hoping to learn something today. So what I want to do is I want to take you through the specific process of what I do in keeping my feet warm and not letting them get cold. So the first thing first is going to be the type of boot that you have. This boot right here, I'm going to take it off for you so that way you can see. This is Keen footwear. So Keen makes this. This is their Targhee model. This is their newest model. I can't remember exactly which Targhee model this is. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but this is it right here. The reason I use this is two things. One is comfort. I like to be able to walk in what feels like a tennis shoe when I'm going through the woods, but still has the durability and still is waterproof when I'm going through the woods, so my feet are not going to get wet. So comfort is the main thing, and then breathability is the next. So this is still a waterproof shoe at the end of the day. I wear this thing 365 days a year, just about. My wife thinks they're ugly as all get out, but I love them because they're comfortable. I will switch these out about every 2 to 3 months because I just wear them so much. I start to feel like the cushioning is not as strong. Inside here, I have a massaging insole. It's a Happy Feet. I think happyfeet.net massaging insole that I put inside of them helps with the comfort level as well. But the reason I use it to keep my feet warm is because of two things. It is breathable even though it's waterproof, but you can also back out these top two laces. So you can pop them off, let it breathe a little bit, especially while you're walking, as long as it's not too crazy of terrain. You can have a little bit looser shoe, so it's allowing that heat to escape as you walk. That's a big thing. At the start of every hunt, I'm going to make sure that these have been on a boot dryer and there's absolutely no moisture in them whatsoever. So I actually have two pairs, well actually now 3 pairs of these. I have basically 2 backups in my main pair that I'm going to wear every day. The main pair is going to be the newest pair just because from a comfort level it's going to have the best cushioning. I throw my main pair on a boot dryer every day. If it doesn't dry fast enough by the time I want to go back out for a hunt and they're wet, I have the backup pairs. That way I can always put on a dry boot. So that's number 1. Make sure you're putting on a dry boot. Number 2 is going to be the sock that I have on. I wear this sock 365 days a year as well, unless I'm wearing the ankle version of that. But this is a -33. This is a sock liner. So this is a merino wool sock liner. What I also love about merino wool is that you let this air and dry out and it doesn't stink. And so I have unfortunately had issues where I've been hunting for so long, so many days in a row, that I'm running out of socks. So I'll turn these inside out, let these air out, and then they won't smell anymore and they'll dry out really easy, really quick. But merino wool is a really good fabric that is designed to wick moisture away. But with these merino wool socks, you have to make sure that you are getting the sock liners, and you do not go higher unless you're going to wear higher boots, which again I'm not recommending. You do not want to go higher than these ankle high, so where it just sticks barely above the boot line. Reason being is when you start getting up higher, it's going to start trapping more heat, causing more sweat to accumulate down your leg and into your shoe. So you want to make sure that you have these lightweight sock liners from Minus 33. Unfortunately, I do not have a discount code for these. I've tried reaching out to them. If anybody knows anybody at Minus 33, I would love to work with them, and I bet I could sell a bunch of socks for you. But these sock liners are what I use, and so just wear that sock in, and a lot of times I'm going to just leave that sock liner on. In rare circumstances am I going to take that sock off and have another pair of sock liners to put on. Once I get to the tree, what I'm going to do to keep my feet warm from that standpoint is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to climb that tree, or I'm going to sit in my spot on the ground. And at the time I can tell that my body temperature is coming down, not all the way back down to normal, but it's coming down, and I can start to feel myself cooling off. At that point in time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lace up that top portion of the boot. So I'm going to go ahead and lock those laces in. If it's a really cold day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my thicker 100% merino wool Minus 33 socks, and those are thick. So the sock liner is going to wick the moisture away, and then that thick sock is going to trap that heat in. So it prevents the sock liner prevents it from getting cold and freezing, but the merino wool, the thick sock, is going to keep that trapped in. So again, sock liner is 100% merino wool, and then the full thick sock is 100% merino wool. That's what I'm going to use on a really cold day. I typically am not going to put on that thicker sock until it gets to a point where it's probably going to be below freezing. Above freezing, I usually do not take those thick socks with me, but on occasion you can. If you're somebody who gets really cold really fast, you can take those thick socks in and put them on. You're going to figure out what that temperature is for you, but that is going to be a good rule of thumb for me. Below freezing, thick socks. Not below freezing, I'm not going to put on the thick socks. So again, you're going to put the sock liner on. If it's below freezing, you're going to unlace the boot to walk in, lace it once you start feeling your body come, cool back off. And then if it is below freezing, you're going to put that thick merino wool sock on and then put your boot back on, and have that good to go. Once you're at that point, that's where the boot muffs come in. So these boot muffs right here are built where they have a kind of a abrasive bottom, so to speak, on the bottom, so you don't have to worry about tearing them up on your tree stand, especially that one little custom gear stand that I have. It's really sharp, so it has a nice, you can hear it, the fabric on here, it's a nice little abrasive. And then it has the fleece on the outside. I love fleece for warmth. One of my favorite hats of all times is a fleece hat. This is just enough of a barrier between here that it keeps your heat trapped, but it keeps the elements out. And then once you put this on, all you have to do is take this right here and zip it up, and it's around your ankle. So that's how you're going to wear it in the stand. It's lightweight, it's quiet. So another thing with the Arctic Shields I didn't like is, I'll show you here, is when you rub your feet together with these, it doesn't make any noise. It's completely quiet when you rub your feet together. I don't even think y'all can probably see my feet down there, but when you rub these together, they make a lot of noise. So they were just really loud and would make a lot of noise, especially the bottoms of these are so abrasive that they're very, very loud. But yeah, that's just some differences between the two that I like. Another thing with the Hunter Safety Systems boot muff that I really, really like is inside here. Let's see if I can turn it inside out for you. Yep. So here you go, is inside out. There's a zipper. So this is another thing that I do, is I always keep a pair of the body warmer. It's the larger hot hands in here. And what I'll do is, while I'm still in that, hey, I'm not completely cooled off, but I'm getting there. It's below freezing day. I've put my big socks on. I've put my boot muffs on. I'm going to open this up, expose it to the air, kind of move it around a little, and then I'm going to insert that back in that zipper, and I'm going to zip it shut. What's that's doing, which you do not have to turn it inside out, I'm just doing that for a visual. What that is doing is that's allowing that to sit in there on top of your foot, on top of your boot. So you have that hot hand sitting there right there on top of your boot. All your heat is trapped, and it's going to just add a heating element to it. I will not typically do the hot hand unless it's like low. Like, I did not even use the hot hands, but I think on the Ohio day this year, I don't remember using them on the Pennsylvania day when it was cold, because I think it was still like around like 20 degrees one of those days with the wind chill of about 10. But I did use it on the Ohio day. I'm not really sure that I even needed to, but I did it just in case. But that is my go-to method. It's really simple, really easy to do, and you don't have to worry about wearing in big, heavy, clunky boots. You don't have to worry about wearing in big, heavy, clunky socks. You don't have to worry about, big, clunky, loud Arctic Shields or other similar products that are out there. You have these lightweight, compact boot muffs from Hunter Safety Systems, and then you have your hot hand that's always in there just as a backup measure. You don't have to worry about getting out to the stand and forgetting it. You always just have it in that zippered pocket, and then you can pack these away for when you are going to need them. But that is a step-by-step detail of how I keep my feet warm. Please comment with any questions. If you have any questions, something I left out, I've probably learned along the way with keeping my feet warm, I'm happy to assist and answer those questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll be honest, and I'll say, hey, I don't know the answer. But for me, that's how I'm going to do it. Again, it's going to be, I'm going to wear lace-up boots, like almost like tennis shoe type boots. I'm going to wear the sock liner, nothing thicker in. Once I get to the stand, get up to height, that's when I'm going to make the decision, do I put on my thicker socks or not. A lot of times when it's above freezing, I just wear my boots and I just lace up those two top little laces, and I hunt all day just like that. Below freezing, that's when the thicker socks start to come in and boot muffs start to come in, and then if it's really bad, the hot hands turn on. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I really appreciate you watching our channel. We just went over 7,000 subscribers as I record this video today, so I'm grateful for your support. I'm grateful for our ministry. We're getting ready to head into our busy season. Deer season's kind of like our Super Bowl for our nonprofit ministry here, and we're really excited for it this year. We have almost 30 guys on our field staff that will take these people out and mentor them on a hunt, share the gospel with them, and either hopefully if they're not saved, get them saved, and if they are, we can continue to nudge them towards their best next step, whether that be mental health services or something along those lines. But again, appreciate you watching, appreciate the support. If there's anything I can do to help you, please let us know, but we'll see you on the next episode.